So what pairings are we particularly excited about in this round now? Well, the big pairings, someone has got to stop the leader, and he's got the white pieces again. So this game here could be a key game. Obviously, if you take a big lead going to the halfway mark, that's going to be, interesting. And how did Justin Tan get on? So Justin Tan is on 2.5, and he was one of the people I predict would do very well. Great blitz player. So that is going to be an interesting game. Justin Tan with the white pieces against Andrew Greet. Andrew Greet is on 3 as well. Sorry, there's 2 people on 3 points. My mistake. So Andrew won that last game. Is that right? Oh no, he drew. Of course, he's playing Keith Arkell. So there's only 1 on 3, but Andrew is half a point behind. So is Justin Tan on 2.5. And Danny is having a little bit of a slow start. Danny Gormadi, he's on 1.5 out of 3. And this is another game I want to keep a close eye on here, because 2 very interesting plays. Keith Arkell is on 2 points, is that right? So this is maybe a big game for Keith against Jonathan Payne. This is one game where Keith really needs to win again. Matthew Turner, how's Matthew Turner getting on? Another favourite. Well, Matthew Turner did lose the game, didn't he, to Willow? So that was an important game. So Stephen Rush is the lowest rated player in the tournament as well. Keith is on 1.5. How many rounds are there? Well, this is the schedule today, guys. We're coming up to round 4, should I say. And after round 5, we will get Adam Hunt on the stream. He can help me out a little bit. And I'll try to show the results as we go along. But there's 15 rounds. A lot of rounds going on today. A lot of action going on. 15 rounds of action. So that anyone can make a comeback. Anyone can make a comeback in this tournament. These are the prizes. And at the moment, we're only concentrating on the Open. Fortunately, don't have enough time to concentrate on both. And yeah, really the results. And this is the last round 4 here, pairings coming up. So it's an all-play all. So everyone plays against everyone else. So thank you for posting results there, Costas. And it seems to me like on chess results, we can't actually get the current results up, which is understandable as they are going really quick, aren't they? So we haven't got a scoreboard of the actual results. So someone will have to help out in the chat. And again, this is to decide who is the British Blitz champion, really. This is the British Blitz Championships. This is an event where people had to qualify around Britain. There was qualifying tournaments in Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, I think, and England. And the top 2 players in the qualifiers have now come here. And of course, there's a lot of Blitz specialists playing in this one. Okay, so do we have? If I miss a donation or anything, I'm extremely sorry if I miss any donations. And I see wizardchess.co.uk, I guess that is, has donated. So thank you very much for your donation, Wizard Chess. That's very kind of you. So cheers, and any donations or anything, obviously very kind as we go along. So that's good. So I'm just trying to do a bit of adjustment there. Has your thing come up? It's come up above anyway, hasn't it? So we'll do that. Just try to adjust. Okay, and the next round's starting any second soon. Yeah, thank you for the donation, Wizard Chess. Very kind of you. Thank you. Very kind donation. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Is Mark Headland playing? Well, unfortunately, Mark is not playing. I don't know if he had a go at qualifying, Mark, but a little bit surprising. I always lose to Mark when I'm playing. Whenever I play Blitz Chess with Mark, another Grandmaster from England, lovely guy. He always crushes me in Blitz, so I'm surprised he's not in this tournament. I don't know if he tried qualifying or if he didn't try. But I'd love to have seen Mark play here as well. Now, the winners of last year were David Howe, England #1, I think, at the moment, and Sophie Millier. And David can't play here because there's a European team championships, or what's it, club team championships, is that the official name going on? So he can't play here at the moment. Right, anyway, the games have started. Now, this says Sherwin has won already. I'm just wondering, that can't be right, can it? Sherwin couldn't have won this position already. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay, so the games which are very important, well, there's lots of interesting games, but the leaders are here with the white pieces. Yos is on 3 out of 3. Can James Adair stop him? And one thing I've noticed about Yos's play is he plays very sort of positional and he doesn't try to do much in the opening stages, but he relies on his tactics later on. Now I wonder what happened there, because it does say that do we think Thomas Rendell's phone went off there? Do we think his phone went off? I'm not sure. And also doing very well is Andrew Greet. So this game I think is very interesting. And Andrew Greet with the black pieces is playing against one of the toughest players, Justin Tan, in the competition. And let's have a look. I think we'll concentrate on this one for the time being. Well, this is quite unbelievable. He's played the Elephant Gambit. Oh my words. Round of applause. This man has, can I say this? I can say it anyway. Balls the size of, I don't know, big balls. I mean, this opening, the Elephant Gambit, is quite dubious. I played it in the last round of the British Championships against David Howe, but to play a move like this, you have to be a little bit crazy, yeah? This is the Elephant. It's known to be unsound, and let's have a look. So knight takes e5. So it's a sacrificial idea where black tries to get quite a lot of play quickly, but here Justin has given the pawn back straight away. So black takes on e4, and now Justin's just playing very safely. He wants to get rid of this good bishop, and Andrew decides to develop. Knight takes d6, queen takes, bishop e2, controlling g4, so stopping anything coming there. Both sides castle, knight c6, attacking d4, knight d5, and now the f pawn is getting ready to roll. So you can see that Andrew's really going for it. He's really going for it. f3. White has the 2 bishops, so he's trying to open up the position for the 2 bishops. So moving the pawn here might be a little bit risky. So Andrew decides to complete his development. And now he's got every piece developed after rook e8. So this has got to be okay for Andrew. Every black piece is developed. White's main hope is that his bishops will come to life later on. Well, there goes one bishop. And the opening, the Elephant Gambit, seems to have worked quite well for Andrew. I mean, he's got a perfectly playable position here. Queen f3, attacking the knight. But I don't know, I still think white is probably a little bit better. This bishop can come here, the rook come to e1, and he does have pressure on the f-file. So this is the current position, but you've got to give a round of applause to Andrew just for being brave enough to play that very dangerous gambit. So knight c4 comes, queen f3, and now knight to e3. So white is trying to swap off this good knight. Rook to f6. Little tactics maybe coming on along here, and at the moment white just has a little bit of problem. He's a little bit behind in development, so Andrew really going for it in this game. Okay, well it does look like the result on Rendell Sherwin was wrong, as they're playing on. So was this just a mistake though? Was this just a mistake? I don't understand after this one. Was this just a blunder? Knight e3 played, and knight e3 is attacking there. So I didn't see that this knight's on pre. And now queen takes d5. I think he's just blundered, hasn't he? I think he just literally just blundered. Rook takes, king takes. This is just a blunder. The leader has just blundered. The hero becomes the villain, and he's just a piece down now. He's just a piece down. The queen comes back. That was just a horrible blunder. And you do see this sometimes in Blitz. So we had a normal position. The queen attacks the knight. Black defends it. White attacks the knight again. And now just rook f6. Complete oversight there from Andrew, who was in second place in the tournament, 2.5. And does that mean Justin is now on 3.5 points, just behind the leaders, and he's just blundered a piece? So there's not much interest in this game anymore. White will win this game, I think, pretty easily. I think he was getting a little bit carried away with the elephant gambit there, but still nice to see it happen. Okay, now the other game I want to take a look at is the leaders. So Andrew's dropping back in the field as we speak. And we have now, this is the current position of the only player on 3 out of 3. And he's playing against James Adair, who's a top player. But again, I have to say, it looks like White is doing very well. This guy is clearly a talented player. Let's just see how the game developed. And White now plays very simple chess. And now he gains the bishop pair. These bishops are very dangerous. And he starts to attack those pawns. The knight comes in to try to add a bit of force to attacking those pawns. It comes around, simple exchanges being made. And this, I think, is a very clever move. I mean, it's a sacrifice, but okay, well, hang on a minute. So black is winning a lot of pawns, but white has the 2 bishops. So how are we going to rate this position? This is very interesting. So black now is 1 pawn up, but white has the 2 bishops. And 2 bishops work very well with a rook. 2 bishops and a rook coordinate very well together. So it must be, well, the moves are coming quick and fast, that white has enough compensation. But now one of those bishops has gone. Black gets active. And the knight comes to e5. Now remember, all these games are really critical. If white wins again, he gets that little bit further ahead of the pack. Knight to e5 coming in with some ideas like this. And it should be, I would say, roughly even now. Even on material. And black did have a lot of pawns there, didn't he? Other results: Keith Arkell won against Jonathan Payne. And Alan Bisworth lost that one. The hero of the last round lost to Lauren da Costa. So knight e5 played. It looks very even there. Of course, Justin Tan did go on to win. Now, what happened after knight e5? b3. White needs to keep this pawn if he wants to try to win. That stops the knight coming here. Now, rook b2, simply keeping the pressure up there. Rook takes here. And now you could take on b3 here, no? But instead, black plays g5. Figuring that that pawn's not going to run away and trying to create some problems with the move g4 and knight to e3 check. Very clever. So let's say this is a nice move which indicates that black is trying to win this game. And I don't know what's happening with the time situation, because it does look like James Adair has lost on time. Has he actually lost on time? I doubt it. Now, after g4, the point is, g5. Okay, rook b7 was played, but now g4, bishop f1, knight d3 check, king g2, and okay, he is going for the draw. My mistake. But white decides to play for the win. So white is really going for it. Rook b1, king f2, knight c2, h3. And maybe black has just taken too many risks here. Because you could have taken that pawn. It was very risky to play g5. I was saying what a clever move this g5 was. But in hindsight, maybe you should have taken it. I suppose what black was worried about was that white was going to play rook here. And the e6 pawn cannot be defended. But I think you still need to get rid of this pawn. So we could see a person coming to clear lead. Oh, okay. Well, the move's coming quick and fast. So let's keep up with the moves. They're very short a time here. Now, white is 2 pawns up, but his 2 pawns are very bad. What is this ending like? Well, this is a crazy ending. And I don't know. Has he got a blockade on the pawns? What is black doing? I think this must be losing, yeah? This is the current position. White has the 2 extra pawns. But can he queen one of them? I expect he can, because he's got this extra pawn. So black can't give his knight up for this pawn, because white's got the extra one. So white can probably just go bishop here and queen this pawn at the right moment, can't he? I think white will go to 4 out of 4. So we've just been told that Sherwin has had a bit of a result there. James Sherwin, who is 80 keep forgetting how old. 80 what? 80 something years old, who featured in Bobby Fischer's book, My 60 Memorable Games. James Sherwin has beaten international master Thomas Rendell, 86 years old. Blimey! And he's beaten international master Thomas Rendell. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Having an 86-year-old qualifying and playing in the British Blitz Championships. It's pretty unbelievable. And he's won. And White's won here. So all the results are in. You can see the results above there. God. So this is the guy to stop. I don't know anything about this player. I'm not aware of him, but he is certainly the guy to stop. I thought you said he was 83 earlier. He's aging a year around, basically. Every year he's aging. Every game he's aging a year, because that's what Blitz chess does to you. You age a year every game. It's hard work. It's hard work. Okay, well, let's have a look how Sherwin won, shall we? What happened here? Well, it does look like... Did Thomas blunder? Okay, so let's have a look. So this position here looks a little bit better for black, but nothing too bad. Now, what happened? Oh, the D pawn comes. And what was that move? What was that? Well, I suppose there's no stopping the D pawn. Cool. So in this position, the D pawn just won the game. Very nice. Born in 1933. God, thought I was getting old. Not as old as old Sherwin. So we have one more game until we get to the break. The next game is going to be starting in 8 minutes. It's only round 5. We're a third way through of 15 rounds. I'm going to be joined by Adam Hunt after the next one, who will help me out a bit. I'll let Adam do most of the commentary. Adam, have you ever commentated on Blitz chess? It's hard work, trust me. It's really hard work. Well, I don't know. Maybe Adam. But thing is, I'm in control of the mouse, so we have to see how we can get that one to work, Adam. But we'll work something out, and we're gonna have a short break after the next round, and then there's another break every 5 rounds. So the scores you can see. Costas has posted the scores. Thank you very much. We have the sole leader, and we have Tan half a point behind, and then Ghazi, the top seed, a point behind. All these guys, very good Blitz players. So let's see if the results there are now ready of that round. And I will try to have a look to see during the break if I can somehow get the current results up there. But as they're not being posted on chess results as you know, the actual leaders as we go, it might be a little bit tough to do. But I'll do my best there. So, well, you can see all the scores there at the moment. Not all the scores, but the top players at the moment. And we better get ready for the next round now. So what are we on now? It's round 5, yeah? Okay. And what about the women's? I don't know who's doing what in the women's. Obviously a little bit too much to follow. Let's just post and get the next rounds. And what? Let's see the pairings. Have we got any interesting pairings coming up in the next one? Just getting these ones ready. Nice win for James Sherwin. Very nice win there. And we'll get rid of the games already gone, so you can see the pairings and the results of that last round here. Well, there you go. These are the results so far over the 4 rounds. I don't know why it's telling me to go to Tesco's and every little helps. That's not what I want to see. Busy day, pick a grocery. I'm okay, thank you, Tesco's. I don't need to see that. I just want to look at the results. Thank you. I just want to see the results. Nothing more, nothing less. So there we go, the results. And one more round, and then we're going to take a break. And you can see the pairings here. So the interesting pairings is, well, who does the leader play? Well, Yos is playing against... Let's have a look. Where is Yos? Am I going blind? Ah, okay. So Yos has black against Lauren da Costa. Now, that is a game where I'm sure black will be thinking. I mean, you have to think when you're playing certain players, you're thinking, this is someone I really want to beat. This is someone, well, you want to win every round, but some players you think, some players you do in the back of your mind think this is really important. And this is a game where I think, you're playing Lauren da Costa, who's a great player, but this is a game where you're kind of thinking as black, well, I've got a great chance here. I get a little break after this. If I can win this, I get the 5 out of 5. Very possible to do so. So definitely going to be pushing with the black pieces here. Now, Amit is also going to be thinking he wants to win this one, playing against the second lowest seed, Alan Birdsworth. And then Justin Tan, who is in second place, is playing against Jonathan Payne. So this one is okay. What round? What should we concentrate on? There's lots of mismatches here. The two, well, Andrew Greet versus Thomas Rendell, and we have two GMs playing, Matthew Turner versus Keith Arkar. But I think in general, we should keep an eye on the leaders of the tournament. So I think we will keep an eye on the top. I need more chocolate. Keep the energy going. I hope you don't mind me scoffing my face a little bit. Remember, I'm only looking at the chat as much as I can on twitch.tv/GingerGM, my Twitch channel. So that's where I'm keeping an eye on the chat. And do let me know, like I say, where you want to see. So Lauren versus leader, I think does make sense. And of course, we keep an eye on that. Due to start in 4 minutes. Maybe, just maybe, that will give me time. I'll leave the chocolate to have a toilet break. So bear with me. I'm going to have a very quick toilet break. And you guys can discuss between yourselves, and I'll be back in a jiffy. I've just got enough time to wash my hands. You didn't want to know that, but I'll be back soon, so don't go anywhere. Okay, right. So they should be starting any second. Yeah, okay. Luckily the toilet's not too far for me to travel to, fortunately. So So I'm wondering, one thing I'd like to do as we're getting to the third way through the tournament here, and as you can see, round 5 is coming up. I'd like to try and somehow, but I haven't worked out how to do this because I'm getting my results from Chess Results, but they're not on Chess Results posting the rankings after each round. Now, I'm wondering, as the rounds go on, how we can keep an idea on the scores of each of the players in this all-play-all event. Because coming to the later rounds, we really want to know what scores everyone's on. So if anyone's got a solution to that, will be all ears. How we can, keep an eye later on. And at the moment, I think it's okay, but do let me know your suggestions, and if there's anywhere where they're posting the results, or maybe Charlie the Chess Cat, you can even make the results for me somehow, which I can post if you send them to me on Slack, even though that sounds incredibly complicated and hard to do. But it'd be nice if we could do that, if I could have a quick graphic, because I think people would like to see that as we go on. But the next round is due to start any second now. The women's results are ranked for some reason, says, okay, well, again, I'd love to have a look at the women's results. It's just so hard to concentrate on both tournaments. So yeah, I mean, it's weird that the women's results are ranked, but not the men's. So we'll see if, well, hopefully that will change. I'll have a word at the break and see whoever's in control of that can try to make some changes, because we want to see the rankings as people go on. in this competition. 15 rounds, all playable to decide who is going to be the Blitz champion. There's £1,000 to play for. £1,000. Okay, so there. Okay, well, at least okay, someone said they're in Chess24, so I can grab the results on that site. Thank you, Costas. I'll go and grab the results from Chess24 and put them up. Okay, Jen's Chess has results. Oh, that's very handy, Jen's Chess, actually. Not sure if I can use that, but it's still handy. Okay, now the game between the two leaders. Well, not the two leaders. The leader with the only player on 4 out of 4 has the black pieces now against Lauren Da Costa, and it's very kind of you, whoever's posting the results in the chat. So thank you, Jen's Chess, for doing that. It makes it good for the people watching. Lauren now plays the London system, an opening I play often, and so does Magnus Carlsen. And now the most aggressive move, c5. Now this is one of the reasons I got put off playing bishop f4 on move 2. And when I suggest the Jabava London system, I actually think this is a better move order. So c5 is a tricky little move which makes it tactical. So you can already see black wants complications in this game. e3. And in actual fact here, queen b6 with best play is probably a draw. But we won't go into that now. d5, black doesn't want that. And now white takes on c5. And this is something you can play in the London system, but it's not the traditional way of playing, because you normally keep this pawn at the front of your formation. Pawn to e6, black just wants to take this back. And now white tries to hold on to the pawn with b4. a5, hitting those pawns. c3, knight c6, hitting the pawns. Bishop b5. So Lauren's just grabbed the pawn and he's trying to hold on to it. Bishop d7, breaking the pin on the knight on c6. Queen b3, defending the pawn. And now b6. And this is a typical way for one side to try and get action on the queen side. And normally the player who sacked the pawn gets pretty decent compensation in these positions. So I'd imagine here black has pretty decent compensation. But white does have the extra pawn, because if you take here, the queen comes in with pressure. This pawn can also be very weak here if the bishop is released. So, you know, this is a big game. If you go to 5 out of 5, you've got to be big favourites. But he hasn't played Justin Tan yet, who's in second place on 3.5. So let's go to Justin Tan's game, and Justin is only half a point off the lead. So Justin can keep his streak going. He keeps the pressure on the competition. So Jonathan Payne with the white pieces, and Jonathan picked a funny little gambit line here, but let's just keep with the current position as we got. And seems very unbalanced, this position to me. It's white to play, and well, I mean, can this knight come back here and try to get to one of these two squares? This is the kind of thing I'd be trying to concentrate on doing. Well, he hasn't done that. He's simply castled, and now c4. Justin got a very good tactical eye, and the point with this move is the rook is lined up against b2. So if you take here and you take here, you're going to lose a piece as white, because you have two pieces being attacked here in this position. So that means white has to move the bishop. So he's moved the bishop there, and Justin keeps on pushing. Pawn to d3. And quite a funny little formation here. But it could backfire as well sometimes. I mean, that opens up the bishop on b2. And white's pieces seem to be very good here. White seems to have very nice pieces, I would say. So after d3, I would probably just put my knight here if I was Jonathan, controlling some squares. And it might not be so bad for white. But this is a very interesting position, very unique position at the moment. Let's go back to the leader, and I'll let you have a look without comments while I eat my chocolate. It's the only way I'm keeping the energy going today. I'm Battle Zork. Thank you for the kind comments there. Well, lots have changed here. So b6 has been played, and now Lawrence has one thing he's got going for him here really is his extra pawn. So he tries to hold on to that. He takes on c6, and this looks like a good plan, and he goes b5. And he wants to get the pawn to c6 and just say that's a really good extra pawn. Black tries to complicate the queen. The queen controls b5. And now the bishop drops back to d7. And c6 comes. So that does look like a good pawn. So maybe, yeah, actually very nice play from Lauren. He found a good way through those complications. And I would say this position is looking very good for white. So we could have a new leader after this round, because this is a massive pawn. Bishop d6. Lauren simply exchanges, develops his last piece here. e5, c4. It looks like a safe pawn advantage. Bishop e6. Knight g5, trying to eliminate that bishop. And he does eliminate the bishop. And now he plays f3. Now that's not a move I'd like to play, because it can be a little bit weakening. And now queen c5 comes in. You can see some of the problems with f3 as you weaken this pawn here. So it seems a little bit funny, and maybe black has still kept a little bit of energy in the position. And if you look at the times though, black is very low on time. Very, very low on time at the moment. So queen c5 played, but white has this extra pass pawn. It's not just a pass pawn. It's what we call a protected pass pawn. Hey, I'm protected, man. The mafia has my back, man. You keep me protected. You can't hurt me, man. This is what this pawn is. It's protected at the moment. So queen c5. And if Lauren can castle and get a rook to c1 behind that pawn, he must be feeling very happy. So if you castle here, black will probably try something like d5 or e4. I still prefer to be Lauren here. I've got the extra pass pawn, and black has not yet to create any real chances. Now, I just want to show you a quick win from Gormali. When Gormali is on fire, he's on fire. And we'll come back to these, but Gormali won in very quick time here. Look at this. This is an absolute crushing victory for Gormali. And he plays, when Gormali attacks, he's one of the best attackers in the world. And look at this next move. Now there is, if you're on my Twitch channel, you will see this. If you are a subscriber to my Twitch channel, H4, there you go in the chat. You can also, if you subscribe to my channel, start posting these. Danny's obviously been taking lessons off me. And now look at this. Beautiful game. Knight c6. Boom. Have some of that. And this is a typical Greek gift idea with h4. And now the knight comes in. King g8, queen h5. And you don't want to be on the receiving end of this nasty stuff. Bishop takes g5, h takes g5, f6, g6, queen h8, checkmate on move 15. Very typical Greek gift sacrifice there. That's just Gormali. When Gormali gets going, he's just an animal at the chessboard. Now, Amit Ghazi won, by the way, his game. He won here, apparently. I don't understand. I don't know if that's correct. He could have, it looks like he, or maybe he won on time there in the position. I'm not even sure he's better. Andrew Greet. Oh, nice little tactic here. So let's have a look. So Thomas Rendell with the black pieces is coming for the hack attack. I think Thomas had a show called the hack attack. And look at this. Knight takes e3. Pawn takes e3. Rook takes e3. And look at this nice little tactic. Queen takes e3. That's a crisp finish by Thomas Rendell. Crisp finish. And with rook e1 checkmate coming. Very nice play. James Adair has opened up the tournament a bit more in the middle. He has beaten Willow. Willow not having the best of chess tournaments here, considering he's such a good player. But the real important game is Lauren da Costa. Oh, let's have a look. The current position, can Lauren da Costa convert his extra pawn? So Lauren has managed to get to an ending. And this will really open things up, because at the moment, Joes is the only player in 4 out of 4. If he loses this position, it opens the tournament up massively. Someone else will have to do the maths there. So we have this ending, King G5 being played. It looks to me very tough to hold this for black, because the black king is completely out of shape here. You want the king in front of the pawns or somewhere around here, but you can't really get across this rook. This rook is stopping the black king from getting back. So white can do something like pawn here, move the rook over here. I'd keep this here, then try to get the king to g6 and just go here and here. So this is really, look, oh, it's a draw. Is it a draw? Did they agree a draw? No, hang on a minute. This couldn't be a draw. What am I missing? It says they've agreed a draw here. They can't have agreed a draw here. This to me looks like it's winning for white with some h6 and, well, I don't know if it's winning, but you certainly play on it. So what's happened here? Apparently this is a draw. Apparently this has ended in a draw. But I find that hard to believe. We'll have to come back to this. Is this a draw or not? And the other game, very important, who's half a point off the lead is Justin Tan. And Justin Tan has won his game with the black pieces against Jonathan Payne. So Justin Tan is now joint first. And this is at we're third of the way through the competition. All results are in. Now, I'd like to know if that was a draw. I mean, I have to say, they couldn't have agreed a draw in this position, could they? Why would they agree a draw here? Okay, you're short of time, but so's black. You're a pawn up. You don't agree a draw here. Not unless you have a little deal going on. I'm only joking. I know they don't. I know. You know, you don't agree draws here. You're a pawn up. You play it on. Keith Arkell would never agree a draw. I mean, I think this is a win. There's another way you can try to win this as well. You go h6. You go rook g7. Okay. And you go king g6. And you just move up the board like this. That's quite simple. h6. Rook here, h7, king here, rook g8. Because this black king cannot even get crossed because the white king is shouldering this one away. So we're going to await that one. We're going to await that one, but I expect that this was a white win. I mean, you can't agree a draw here. Or unless someone lost on... Well, you can't lose on time, it's a draw. Okay, Sherwin's game is apparently still going on. Sherwin is well, he's 80-something years old. Why can't I remember his age? Come on, Simon. You know, you've been told his age so many times by now. 86 years old. Is that right? 86 years old, maybe. Wow. I mean, he's done well for an 86-year-old just to get to this tournament. But this is apparently the current position. But it looks like we've got a bit of a freeze. He must be over 90 now by now, says Neil. Yeah, I keep upping his age every game. He's playing. I mean, it must be. As you get older, you get more nervous. I mean, I remember seeing Ulf Andersson playing as he gets older, and he got a bit shaky, and you just do nerves. I mean, if you're playing a Blitz game in a Blitz Championship at the age of 86, you know, I mean, you're doing well, aren't you? You're doing well. You're obviously doing pretty damn well. So I think so Hayden did win that one. He looks like he's got a good attack on the white king, even though he's a pawn down. Hayden was also a very good blitz player. So guys, we are now in store for a little break. I'm going to bring up results, but we're third way through. We've just done round 5 there, so we are allowed ourselves a little break. Now you might be excited to know. Thank you for the scores there. That's very handy, Jen's Chess. I'm going to just crop that one so people can see it. Let me just take a picture of it. If I can get this working. We're going to be back, but at least we can have a little break now. And I'm just going to crop what Jen's Chess has done there. That's very useful. And also maybe we'll try to update the women's competition as well, if we can get the scores up there. So you have to bear with me. And then we'll be on for a break, but luckily I'm going to be helped by my good friend Adam Hunt just after the break, so we'll try to get him on to the show as well. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this now, and I can show you the scores, and these are the scores as we speak in the competition after 5 rounds. Scores after 5 rounds there. I'm just going to see if they're up on chess results or anyone's updating them, and I'll also try to show you the women's results. Then we'll take a break and I'll get Adam Hunt onto the stream as well. So It doesn't seem like we can get the results on chess results, which is really annoying. But we can, I think, get the ranking. This is it. I don't understand why we can't get the ranking. But let's have a look at the women's results now, because we haven't been keeping an eye on that. And let's just see how they're getting on in the British Blitz Championships. So let's see if we can load this one up. We go to the women's, and you can see here you've got the rankings, which is what I wanted to get with the men's. And we have what I would say is a surprise leader there. Wow, from Ireland, Diana Mirza. Diana Mirza, who's Irish champion, is on 5 out of 5. That's a real shocker, actually. Diana Mirza. I mean, look at the rating there, 1772. Very dangerous player, very strong player, is leading the women's on the women's British Championships. That'd be a really good result. You have Ketty Van, who is an incredibly strong player on 4.5, and then a group of very strong players just behind on 4 and 3 points. So still quite open there in the women's competition, as we see. So, okay, right. Well, guys, I'm going to take a little break. So as we can see, we're playing in the British Blitz Championships. Here are the prizes. And I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to try to set things up so Adam Hunt, international Adam Hunt, can join me on the stream. So I need to make some small changes there, and the next round is due to start now in about half an hour. But we don't go anywhere. We'll go and get yourself a cup of tea, make a little bit of lunch. I'm going to have something to eat very quickly, and we'll be back in no time at all. So I'll see you in a second. Go and have a little break, and I hope you enjoyed the first bit of the commentary. It's all quick, it's all fast, it's all a bit manic. It's the British Blitz Championships. We're a third way through it. Who is going to be British Blitz champion? Well, we will soon see. We'll soon see soon. And I'll be back very shortly. So let me just see if I've got holding screen. Okay. Yeah, well, should we keep you on the results? Let's keep you on the results there. Okay, back again soon. Right, hello, we're back again, and I'm now just going to make a couple of changes to our stream here. So we're going to be joined by a good friend of mine, who's going to help me commentate. It's quite hard work for one person to commentate on loads of 5-minute games. Well, you have to see my setup here. I've got like 3 screens with everything going on. Also, I'm commentating on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/gingergm. So if you want to get involved with the conversation there, then do join in the chat. So we're just, first of all, it'll just take me a minute or two to make some changes. Let's get Adam Hunt onto the stream. So I better make some room for a fellow Ginger to come on. And I'll let, when we get Adam on, I'll let Adam introduce himself and say hello to all you guys. So let's get him in the Northern Lights as well. So we'll do this now, and it'll take me a couple of seconds, and we'll see. Let me just get this rocking and rolling. So here we go. Adam Hunt, fellow Ginger extraordinaire. So Adam, can you join us? By the way, if anyone at home, I'm going to let Adam just say hello and everything in a second or two. But if people at home can let us know what the volume levels are like, I can change the volume levels at my end. So let us know if I'm a lot louder than Adam, because Adam's going to basically help me commentate on the rest of this tournament. If you're up for it, Adam, are you up for it?
Yeah, let's see how things go. Sure. I will definitely be up for the next 5 rounds.
Sure.
I think is there another break then? Maybe there's another break then, and then we'll see how things are.
Cool. So, Adam, who the hell are you, mate?
A chess player, try to be from time to time. Yeah, International Masters, Simon Says. I've known you for a long time through chess, university, and I teach chess in Suffolk full time, and I also did the commentary this year on the British Championships. I'm a bit too loud. I don't know if I can do something about that on my side.
Don't worry, I'll change it in my side, so okay. I can make some changes if Adam's a bit loud. Just let me know. I'm moving his volume down. So do let us know now, guys, how that is. So Adam, you can keep on chatting. So hopefully we've got the standings up there now.
So let's talk about the tournament. It's a relatively new event that's been going 3-4 years, maybe.
3-4 years, yeah, I think so.
That's about right.
Yeah.
And they have the qualifiers all over the country, as Simon's already said. It's a little bit. I think it's a little bit weaker than it was last year. I mean, David Howell won it last year, so it's a little bit weaker than last year, but still, as we've seen already, some quite interesting games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got the problem is it's clashing with the European, some other big tournament where players like David Howell, Gawain Jones are playing in, so they can't play here. Because last year, if we have a look at the winners, we had 2 really strong players. Well, everyone's strong in the tournament at the moment, but David Howell won it last year, and David, very, very, very strong player anyway. Were you tempted to try and qualify, Adam?
I can't even remember when the qualifiers were, Simon. It's a bit I'm not in a particularly geographically easy part of the country to get to events that well. I've had a few other things going on myself, so
sure.
No, I just just a lack of time really, as much as anything else.
Yeah, and well, you say a couple of things going on. You did something pretty amazing last week, didn't you? Was it last week, Adam? What did you get up to last week, or a week or so ago?
Yeah, last weekend I've been planning for a little while a reasonably long distance swim in aid of Bowel Cancer UK, which is a charity quite close to my heart. I was diagnosed with bowel cancer 3 years ago, and so it's one of those few exercises, that sustained exercises, that is still easy enough for me to do. So that happened last Sunday in Stratford. I'll just, if I may, just put a little link up to the site on the chat. Is that okay, Simon?
Of course, it's a very good cause to. Can people still donate to you, or?
Yeah, so if people still can donate, absolutely. I know that the events already happened, and even if you don't want to donate and just have a little look and see.
Are you putting that? Are you putting that in the Twitch chat? I can post it there. It's probably the best place to.
I'll put it.
Yeah,
put it in the Twitch chat.
Hopefully you can. Hopefully I haven't stopped you from doing that at all. So, okay, yeah. I mean, that's a really, if anyone, I mean, obviously you can donate to Twitch stream, but I'd probably even prefer if you like the stream and you like the commentary, what we're doing on this tournament, and rather donating to me, I'd rather you donated to the link that Adam's given there. And very impressively, Adam, well, how far did you swim? 200 lengths. And how many kilometers was that, Adam, that you swam?
So that's 5,000 meters.
Okay.
And as you say, 200 lengths. So it was actually in a 50-meter pool. So it was 100 lengths of the 50-meter pool. Right. And you had to do it freestyle or breaststroke. And I did it freestyle. So it took 2 hours, 17 minutes. So it doesn't sound that far, 5,000 meters, but once you realise actually, well, for me anyway,
it's a long way, man.
Fast swimmer.
How many kilometers is that? I don't know the.
So 5k.
5k swim. You didn't fancy doing it butterfly then? Oh, you weren't allowed to.
Not allowed to.
No.
That was only a half marathon as well. There were some people doing 10k.
Wow. 10k.
Which is the next level up. So maybe next year, me and you, Simon, we'll do a team. You can do a team challenge.
Can you? Right.
5k. I do 5k.
I might need a bit of training first before doing that. So, did you do all front crawl?
Yeah.
All front crawl. Okay. Yeah. Still very impressive. So yeah. So guys, go and check out that the link that Adam's put in. I'd probably be. I think I'd find it easier to swim that distance than run that distance. I obviously would. I used to be quite a good swimmer, but running that, I'm not a very good runner. Let's just put it that way. I think my belly gets in the way too much, but And
the good thing about it is actually after you've done it, the next day is not too bad because it's quite low impact. It's not like running where you get, if you haven't kind of stretched enough, then you get really sore. It's not too bad. As you do it, it's quite difficult, but
yeah. So did you do it? Was it a struggle, or did you how did it go?
I think as much as anything else with swimming, it's like staving off the boredom as well. Yeah. And there's only so long you can kind of think about other things for. Like, I don't know, I'm a Liverpool fan. I was quite looking forward to Liverpool Man City later in the day, for example. But there's only so long you can think about these things for before you just get back into the kind of monotony of the swimming.
Yeah.
It's not like running in that respect.
Did you finish it in time to watch the Liverpool match?
Yeah, finished it in time to watch the Liverpool match. So that was all good, and
good.
2 hours 17 was not a quick time, but it was. I was reasonably pleased with that. It's okay.
Well done, mate. It sounds like quite an amazing thing considering, you have bowel cancer and you've been fighting that as well. So impressive. So anyway, so with the chess, I mean, we can see I've managed to get the results, the standings up now, and we have two leaders at the moment. So we can see Justin Tan and this other player I don't really know much about. Adam, do you know the player who's registered as playing for South Korea as well? Do you know much about this guy who's sharing the lead with Justin?
I know he's been in this country for quite a while. I think he must have come over originally maybe to study. So
yeah,
and I think maybe I want to say he was in Wales for a time, but I'm not 100% sure that's
Cardiff.
right.
Someone said he was in Cardiff,
right?
Cardiff University. So possibly.
I don't know about the move to South Korea. I imagine that's potentially a tactical thing to play some chess in the Olympiad, maybe.
Yeah,
that's what happens because he's clear. He's probably, I mean, from the name, it sounds Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I once, when I was a kid,
I know he's been playing in the 4NCL a bit.
right. As a kid, I was at one point considering trying to play for Wales in Olympiad, but that was a long time ago, and it was only just a brief thought. Didn't ever want really to do that, but my grandfather was a miner in Abergavenny in Wales.
Abergavenny, yeah.
Abergavenny,
Okay.
yeah, in Wales. So I was tempted with that, but we also have obviously in third place. So it's 15 rounds we've got. We're a third way through, so two leaders. It's going to really heat up, and in third place we have, as you can see, Amit Ghazi, who's a very strong player as well. Amit, isn't he? Very good blitz player, especially.
Really good. He's a really good blitz player, and he's just he took some time out from chess, but he was kind of a pretty gifted prodigy when he was young. Took some time away from the game, has come back to it. I want to say he's got 3 GM norms, but not quite got the rating to make it to 2500 yet. It's either that way around or he needs one more norm.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't play much. I mean, a lot of players, Amit is not a grandmaster, but you can see his blitz rating is 2582, and he just doesn't play much chess. I don't know if he ever plays abroad. A bit like Hawkins, really, and he's clearly good enough to be a grandmaster. And if he played more, he would be easily a grandmaster by now. But he's just a very talented player. Then we got Danny.
He has played abroad, Simon.
Right.
I remember seeing a tournament he played. Actually, it was in America. Maybe I want to say it's 2 years ago now. It might have only been a year ago, but I think he won some tournament with maybe a perfect score, 9 out of 9.
Okay.
And I can't remember if it was a rapid play or a long play, but yeah. But as you say, he doesn't play a lot abroad. I don't know much about his kind of background as to what he does for a living or anything, but as you say, he's easily grandmaster strength.
Yeah. And if we look at the other players, obviously we've got Danny Gomali in fourth, who has still got a chance of winning this. He's only 1 point off the lead. Matthew Turner 3.5, Keith Arkle 3.5, and we'll just go down the list. Lauren Da Costa 3.5. One of the early leaders, Andrew Greet, has lost his last 2 rounds, so he blundered a bit. David Hayden, very good blitz player, and one person I'm a little bit surprised is not doing better is Willow, who started with 2 out of 2, but has actually lost his last 3 games. And then we have Rendell Sherwin. What about Sherwin? I mean, Sherwin is 86 years old or something. I mean, like, pretty impressive, Adam. 86 years old, and he's on 1.5 still, which is a pretty good score, yeah.
He's actually also had quite a long break from chess in this country. He was a very, very active player in the 4NCL. I think that from what I remember, he lived kind of down in the Bristol area. And I played James Sherwin myself in the 4NCL about 15 years ago. And then I think he's just recently started to come back to it. So he played in the British Championships this year, from what I remember, either one of the rapid plays or the senior event. And it's really nice to see him playing again. And as you say, he was famous for playing this game against Fischer. I think it was even the first game in that book.
I think it might be the first game in Bobby Fischer's 60 memorable games. So he was around, fighting against a young Bobby Fischer, and I think he's beaten Bobby. I think he might have beaten Bobby Fischer when Bobby was young. I think as well. So it's a pretty impressive player, at that age at least. And yeah, I mean, also Adam, I've got to ask you 2 questions now, as we've got 10 rounds to go. We've got 10 minutes until they start again. So,
okay, nice.
The 2 questions I want to ask you is, who do you think's going to win? And then, who do you want to win? And I want an answer. I don't want you backing out of this one.
Okay.
So, if you have to pick one person.
My answer to the same question is going to be the same. I think, and I want Justin Tan to win.
Okay.
Justin Tan, and I'm biased because Justin came to my school, which I work out, and we have he developed over that time. He was only there for 2 years, but became an IM at Woodbridge, and I think if I had to choose one or two, I think that Ghazi or Tan would be the two that I think are most likely to win.
So did you?
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I'd like.
And can you take any claim for actually helping? For teaching him? Did you make him the player he is?
Well, he didn't become a GM at the time. In fact, do you know, Simon, that his game that made him an IM was against me?
Oh, that sounds dodgy.
Well, actually, it's not quite true, but there was a tournament in Bunratty, one of our favourite events, and it was an IM Norm tournament, and he beat me, but basically to make I think it was his third and final IM Norm. And I didn't throw the game. I was absolutely gutted at the end of the game. So I suppose in that respect, I can take some credit. We did work pretty hard over those 2 years. But yeah, he's gone on to bigger and better things now.
Yeah. Well, he's a very good player. I mean, a lot of these guys play on chess.com. And I keep losing to Justin Tan on chess.com, and I think his rating is like 29. It's been at least 2,900, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's like the top 1% of grandmasters, pretty much. So he's a very, very good player. Another thing, I'd like to say, a couple of people have already donated, I think, to your page, which is really good. And we are saying if you want to donate to a good cause, then I'll just put the link up there one more time. It's for bowel cancer. And this is a way to support the stream and do something good. I mean, Adam's just swum 5 kilometers in support of that, so it's a good way to do something good. You feel good about yourself as well. Go on, throw some money in. A question here: do people throw games to give norms? Well, people do, but not really that I'm aware of so much. I mean, in England, I haven't known of it as happening, but there's certainly some stories of it happening in other countries. There's even been tournaments arranged where they didn't even bother playing the games. They just put the results in. They're going to give norms, but I don't think it happens so much nowadays. And I'm not aware of it happening in England or in Britain. Everyone I know pretty much wouldn't do that. So yeah. I mean, I'd like to see Danny or Keith do well. Adam as well. Two old. Well, I say old grandmasters. They kind of are now, aren't they? Really. So,
I'd like to see them do well as well. And it looks like they're both still well in contention for the tournament. They're only a point and a half off the lead, which at this stage is probably not insurmountable. It's easy to get back into it. So let's see what happens in the next 5 games, huh? And maybe we'll have a better idea at the end of round 10 as to
definitely. Well, I'm gonna get the parents up now, because they're probably going to start in let's say, I don't know, but about 5 minutes. I think we're going to have a start, so I'm just going to have to find some room to get these pairings up so everyone can see them. So bear with me. I'll go over the ECF flag. So these are the pairings for the next round, and we've got some very interesting pairings. I mean, I think there's 2 games we mainly concentrate on. There's one which I'm personally very interested in seeing. So I love to see
3 big games up the top there. Even
there's a couple of great games. I love to see Keith versus Danny. Let me just readjust that one more time. And Justin Tan versus Matthew Turner is going to be a big game, yeah? I imagine, Adam.
Yeah. I'm breaking up slightly. I think it might be my internet. I'll just hope it survives.
Yeah. Are you at home at the moment?
I am at home, but I'm in the basement.
The basement?
In the dungeon. It's a dungeon that is my office. So if I went upstairs, it might be quicker, but then I'll have to change computers and do all sorts of funny business.
Yeah.
So
I've actually stayed in your dungeon. That sounds a bit dodgy, but I have before. When I've been over at Adam's, Adam's house, I've stayed in his dungeon before. So it's a nice little dungeon you got down there. So which is now Adam's office area. So anyway, the games are due to start in
it's not a dungeon anymore. It's been done up.
It's been done up. It was nice little area you got there. But okay, so I mean, it does look like Adam's Skype's a little bit iffy, but I'm sure it seems just about okay for us at the moment to keep going. And I think the two games we will concentrate on in this round, we'll have a look at the good old veterans fight between two, of England's finest grandmasters, Keith Arkar and Danny Gormali. I really want to keep an eye on that. And then the other grandmaster clash is between the leader, Justin Tam, and Matthew Turner. And this is maybe Matthew Turner's chance to get back in it, because Matthew is a point and a half behind Justin Tam. But if he wins this one, he comes half a point in reach. So two very exciting games there. And also, actually, the third game, I've got to mention that one. That's another very important game. It's a clash between first place again and a meet who's only half a point off. So these three games, excuse me, are very very critical. Yeah. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Good. So we're waiting for the games. Only 3 minutes now, and just to show you, this is the schedule. So we're on round 6. It's an all 15 rounds, and round 6 is due to start, like I say, any time now. Hopefully Adam will be with us round 6 to 10, and then I'm going to finish off the last bit if Adam's not available. The prizes they're playing for are here. So it's £1,000 first prize, very nice. We're trying to keep an eye on the women's competition as much as we can, but there's a lot to follow just for us and our setup, so it's going to be very hard to do that and follow the games. And yeah, these are the players in both competitions in their seeded order with rating. So you can see the players there. Well, they're not seeded in the women's section there, but they are in the men's, but they're the players in the women's section. And we're just waiting for the action now, Adam.
Let's see. When start in 1 minute, I think.
They're going to start, about 1 minute. So I'm hoping I've got everything set up and ready to rock and roll. So we should have the moves soon. Blazer O saying Danny needs the money. Danny always needs the money. So, I mean, I love to see Danny do well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Danny started streaming, which is a great thing. I love Danny to get a new microphone though when he streams. I find it so hard to listen to him, but I love his streams. He's a very raw character, He
is. It was fascinating because I did the British Championship commentary with him this year on your channel, and it was really fun. I mean, he's just a very interesting guy, and he's very kind of tactically, he's incredibly strong.
Really good. He's got an amazing eye for tactics, Danny Gormali. I mean, he's so sharp. And the thing is, as you say, Adam, he puts his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? What you see is what you get with Danny. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind, showing every side to his personality, really.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't mind showing his vulnerability. He doesn't mind showing, his slightly, I don't know, darker side, shall we say? But
yes,
his actual chess is very interesting, and it's kind of really interesting to listen to his streams, and to some of his books are very interesting as well. So I would highly recommend you go and check out his work.
Yeah, he's actually also, if anyone's interested, if you want to support Danny, I think one of the best ways to do this at the moment, he's just released a new course for Chessable. He's got one for Ginger GM as well. So he's done a course for us at Ginger GM. If you buy the course through Ginger GM, or you buy the course for Chessable, he gets a nice hefty amount of that money. So that's a good way to help him money wise, if you so wish. So, well, we should have the game started now. So I'm just going to check that they are, I have them already. I might have to just put the PGN feed in again. So do let me know if you see them, and I'll just double check whether we have everything ready at the moment. And
I will apologise in advance. I've got the Skype means I have a very slight lag, so some of the things that I see will not be completely up to date. So apologies in advance for that, but hopefully it won't.
Sure. We're getting the games in now, Adam. So I'm just and starting them off straight away. So, well, is it really true that Johan has won already? Whoa, that would be quite strange. Look at that. Oh, and I'll just have to move this below so you can see your face again. Okay, well, let's just get into the action. We're going to start with Keith's game, I think, against Danny Gormali, and we'll just go through the moves. So Keith Arkle with the white pieces, and Danny wants a tactical position against Keith. He does not want to get into an ending. Keith is a specialist, so Danny's gone for the King's Indian defence. And is he going for the little... Oh no, I've got bad memories of this line. Oh, he's playing it with E5. That's a more sensible way to play.
Oh, Simon, yeah, this is your game from the British Championships.
I had a horrible loss from the British Championships in a line very similar to this with Stephen Gordon, didn't I? But Danny hasn't gone for the hack attack with Queen H5. He's playing in a different way here. And now Knight A2's played, and I don't know. What do you think of this position, Adam?
I'd be a bit uncomfortable if I was black, I would say.
You used to be at least a King's Indian defence player, didn't you? So
yeah, so you often have problems down the C file. Well, like for example here,
yeah,
black's taking quite a long time to get his kingside, any sort of kingside counterplay organised, because he would typically play for F5, and that's going to take him a little while. When the bishop's fianchettoed, the white bishop is fianchettoed in the King's Indian, there's less attacking potential. So the space advantage that white has on the queen side, I suspect, is going to be a bit of a problem for black.
Actually, one thing I would like to say, which Smashing Lad has just brought to attention, is in that game, I assume Laurent da Costa had won that game, but obviously he didn't, because the guy's on 4.5 points. He actually agreed a draw in a +10 position. What's that all about? Why did Laurent da Costa agree a draw there?
That's weird.
That's weird. Bit odd, bit off. So, but it does seem like Danny's now got a bit of play, no, on the B file in this position. He's attacking against B2, yeah.
So what are you going to do if I go Knight A4?
Okay, so we have to watch out for a knight shot.
You're going to take it with your bishop. Sorry, you're going to take it with your bishop. So that's okay.
Got bishop takes A4 if we move the knight there, yeah.
Probably going to have to move your knight back, maybe, just to repel the queen.
Knight to this square. Yeah, I mean, I think Danny's got enough play here, definitely. I mean, could he even be better? His knight's very good on C5 at the moment, if he can hold.
I'm just a bit worried. Sorry, Simon, I was just a bit worried you might go knight D1, and when the queen moves, then you play B4 and kick it away.
Well, we have rook A1 has been played. So Keith is, instead of defending, going for a bit of a counter attack, and you know, we know Keith loves an exchange of queens. So if the queens come off, and the less tactical it gets, it will probably start suiting Keith a bit more in the endings. So queen takes B2 is certainly playable here, but then of course Keith has rook takes A7. Now I suggest we have a quick look at the other games as well as we're going on, because the other leaders. Okay, well, before we do that, we've got an update here, guys. So we have knight takes E4 has been played, and I forgot that pawn is also in pre, and that's a very nice central pawn. And you also might better free this bishop like that. So we have knight takes E4. And now Danny does go for the exchange of queens, as he has to. His queen is attacked. And we have knight takes E4 here. And this, I would assume, is quite nice for Danny, because in the ending, well, I guess rook takes A7 is critical here. But if he's able to get rid of that bishop and play E4, the bishop on G7 would become very good.
So I reckon that pawn on B2 is going to be a weakness rather than a strength here.
Let's have a look. So knight takes D2, knight takes D2. This is the current position.
And he can just take on B2, I think.
You can just go rook takes B2. But then I guess it's going to be a lot of exchanges. Rook takes D7. Rook takes here. Rook takes D6. That should be suiting, I would imagine. Keith a bit, probably. I mean, can you just play like bishop E8 here? What about just moving the bishop here? Keeping the threats.
Bishop E8, I might just go knight C4.
Knight C4 and try to come in here.
Pawn.
Yeah. So if bishop B5, which is a bit annoying because it gets in the way of my rook. But one thing I'd love to do as black is go like F5 and E4. Free up that guy. I mean, it does seem like it should be a little bit better for Danny, but lots of moves. Now, the one thing I would like to say is that the PGNs
It's agreed a draw, apparently.
Well, it might. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look. The PGNs can't always catch up with the moves. He did go for Adam's line, and well, why did he go D6? that was kind of move which. Well, I guess Bishop C5 is coming and against here, so okay, quite a solid draw between two guys. And well, Ghazi won. Yeah. By the way, Amit Ghazi won. This is a big result. So if you have a look at the scores above my head, Danny and Keith Arkyle drew, so that's not really much use for either of them. But a big result there is, and they're updating the scores as we go along. Amit Ghazi has, that's a really big victory. And let's just have a look how he won it, Adam. He got very tricky. He went Bishop H6, and this position looks absolutely fine for White. But now White starts doing some funny things. And after Knight D7, Bishop D6. No, hang on a minute. He went Queen F4. Hello?
Hello. Sorry.
No, I'm not saying hello to you. His last move was Queen F4.
Wow, that's a sacrifice, isn't it?
It's a sacrifice and a half, that one. Really? Really? This guy's leading the competition, and in this normal-looking position, he plays Queen F4 and resigns.
That's the funniest move I've seen.
I mean,
all day.
I'll tell you what, Adam. There's blunders, and then there's Queen F4. That's another gravy. That is.
Do you really think he's done that, Simon?
Well, I think so, because there's no more moves, and the game's over. So I think he's literally. I mean,
just put his queen on the wrong square.
I think he just forgot his opponent's bishop was on H6. What he did in the break, he should probably not have done it. So that's a major blunder, though. Yeah, Queen F4. So that's really opened up the tournament.
Tan's beating Turner. He's about to beat him.
Okay, let's move over there. So Justin Tan with the white pieces. That's a big pawn. That's going to be a queen. So how does that affect things? So Justin Tan's going to be on the lead, half a point ahead of everyone. Yeah. So it looks like. Should we just see how?
Yeah, he'll be half a point ahead of Ghazi. Ghazi's next on 5.
So let's just have a look how this position turned into the attack for Justin Tan. I'm picking up after move 29, Queen to G3, and you can see that White has this dangerous attack against Black's king. Black tries to defend, but more pressure now builds. G5, and now a very nice sacrifice, which is pretty obvious. Bishop takes G5, trying to bust through to the king. And now King F8, and we can see here that this position is clearly winning for Justin. And it is, of course, winning after that F7 move because the pawn is going to queen. So, yes, it's quite surprising. I mean, did that really happen? This is like blunder of the tournament. Queen F4. I mean, I've done some blunders in my time. I often forget pieces on pre, or I drop a piece, but moving a piece into the square of another piece is quite rare, isn't it? It's quite a rare one.
Yeah, Smashing Lad says that bishop is only 2 squares away as well. It's not like it's...
No.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a hidden bishop, yeah?
It's not miles and miles away, is it?
No, it's not miles and miles away by any means. I mean, unbelievable blunder, actually. Really, really quite shocking, that one. Yeah.
What else have we got, Simon? What other results have we got then there? We've got Alan Beardsworth and James Sherwin. That's going to be...
Let's have a look.
Should you have a look at that one?
Who are we cheering for here? Do we want? I think James.
I'm cheering for Alan Beardsworth because I don't know anything about him other than he's playing in this tournament. So I'm just cheering for somebody I don't know anything about.
No, I don't really know Alan Beardsworth as well. I think he went to school with Nigel Short potentially. That's all I know. And well, it looks like he's won here. I mean, Alan Beardsworth, I think, was to do with the ECF, and he's qualified for this tournament, so he's done well to get in it. And this position is winning for him because he's simply going to queen the pawn. So yeah. Justin Tan, no result there, but that will be a result soon. And just having a look, a couple of other draws going on, and the results are
Lauren,
now...
Lauren Da Costa, he had a good win with black against James Adair. Actually, Lauren is having a very good tournament. If you look at what he's done so far, he's on 6. He hasn't lost a game yet. And he's played, maybe he hasn't played the absolute favourites, but he drew Justin, for example, in the first round. So he's in with a chance.
He is in with a chance, yeah. Apparently, maybe the PGM feed went down there because it says that White resigned here, which I find quite hard to believe, as it looks like a normal position to me. But yeah, you're right. Lauren is having a very good tournament.
We're not 100% sure about how accurate these are, but for example, this position, it looks like James is actually doing pretty nicely in quite a sharp position.
He's certainly doing okay. I suppose there's some quite annoying threats of like some knight d3 and bishop h2 and knight g4 ideas here, which knight g4 is actually a very big threat, isn't it, with the bishop going to h2. But yeah, this position is kind of like, just a position. And remember, now we do have the live standings. Thank you, Jens, for also posting them above my head. So as things develop, this taken from Chess24 site, we're going to keep updated, and I'm going to have to now get the next round set up.